Hey guys, welcome to a clean, fresh install of Pikaos. Reason being, I was asked to do a setup video on how I get this all up and running, and people were also requesting an updated guide for Gnome 48, so I guess this could be considered an all-in-one video for that. And I like how I'm blue right now. Let me fix that. Apparently I can't. Okay, I'm blue. So, where do we begin? We begin at this page right here. This is the Pikaos welcome screen. And what we want to do is we're going to install the Pikaos game utilities. Now, I hope to God there's not going to be any syncing while I'm doing this video. I gotta hope, right? Because again, people get worried. They're like, oh, it didn't work for him. Servers are the very foundation of installing these packages, and if one is syncing, it's unavailable until it's done. So I've had issues in times where that has happened, and it ends up getting really annoying. But today, it doesn't look like we're having any sync issues. It's grabbing all of the needed dependencies. It's now installing everything. And when it's done, we're going to have Steam, Lutris, Go Overlay, Mango HUD, Winetricks, BK, Basalt, and many other packages that are needed for gaming. Because Pikaos cares about its users, so it has this all-in-one welcome screen to handle everything. And it also has another thing that handles your devices, so your drivers for your GPU and stuff like that. So we're going to be taking a look at it all in today's video. Today on a video, I had a Russian man comment getting me to set up a crypto wallet, and that was kind of the most aggravating thing in the universe. Getting the wallet's easy. That's like 2 steps. But getting it out of the wallet into your wallet, you know, to save up for what's currently happening to me, is another story. It was frustrating. It took an hour to fully set up. Now, this package here installs Heroic Game Launcher models along with other base game utility packages. So if you're really a gamer, this is your next stop. We're also going to cover content creation. I'm going to be setting up Davinci's Resolve. We're going to be going over everything because there are some people out there that still believe you cannot get Davinci's Resolve to work on Debian-based distributions or Debian itself. Those people are what we like to call wrong, or in other words, Reddit misinformed. Don't be Reddit misinformed. Just in case you don't know, Reddit is literally filled with 99% of bias and lies to try and convert the Linux user into one direction. Yeah, they don't like me very much because I end up breaking that mold, and I will never conform to it. You can also install OBS here. We've already done that, and currently I don't want studio mode. I want to go to settings because I want to show the settings. Hey, it's me. Look at that. As you can see, we're currently recording with the AMD GPU. Not what I really wanted, but it's whatever. So now that that's done, there's also another one here that will allow you to have UDEV rules and configurations for many of your game controllers. Like this one. This one works out of the box though, so I guess more of the ones that don't. Kind of like the Xbox controller that has a dongle, you know? Those type of things. Now you can also install true fonts for Windows font rendering and other things. I'm going to just do that for the hell of it because it's not really going to affect what I do next. Now, base Pikaos, when you actually install it, is not looking like this at all. What I do is I install from the Hyperland version, I update to the newest version, then I install Gnome, so I don't have any packages that I won't use. It sort of gives you like a clean starting area. It's like a minimalist, a very minimal version of Pikaos, which I like. I like minimal. Things like this, they won't work at all. So that's not a thing. But if you need it to, if you are installing from the Gnome ISO, this does and will work for you, and it will allow you to instantly have your dock, your panel, and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, there you go. You can also install patented media and codecs libraries. So if we wanted to, all codecs are already installed. You got your printer support. We're going to see how our drivers are handled. And as you can see, our GPU is currently not installed for Nvidia. So this is like the perfect opportunity to be able to do that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to install the latest 575 driver. And this is open modules. This is what I want. And we're going to do that. And I'm not going to reboot. We're going to continue forward because I don't need this. Not right now. Not at all. I will reboot and set this up for rendering up my videos. Because once again, AMD is still not really on par with Nvidia when it comes to rendering. You can do it on the GPU now with the help of a plugin. Which I will show you how to set up in this video as well with the Davinci's Resolve stuff. But here's the thing, you don't need to, okay? You don't need to do it at all. If anything, grab a really cheap Nvidia card, throw it in, and use that as your device for rendering out your video. If you're one of those people that use GPU rendering, these days it's pretty much lossless, so it looks absolutely fantastic. Look at it go. So, here's an example. If I was rendering out this video and it's like 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long, I don't know how long this video is going to be. If I did it with my AMD GPU, the 9070 XT, which took me ages to save for, and I'll be paying off for a very long time, it's going to take me about 10 to 11 minutes to render it out. Okay, that's at 100 to 150 FPS, because that's the max I ever seen it go. That's with 1 being the quality setting, because I want it to look fantastic. And yeah, that's H.265. AV1's no faster, H.264's no faster. I wouldn't use them even if I was paid. AV1's great. It's just YouTube, I don't know if it instantly processes it like it does for H.265. I might check on that. But again, 100 to 150. You're probably thinking, that's great, right? That's the same performance I got rendering out on my 290X way back in the day in 2013 to 14. So that's not good at all. Now, my 4070, okay, in my system, if I decided to render it out with Davinci's Resolve, goes at 390 to 450 FPS. So that 20-minute video now renders out in under 2 to 3 minutes versus 11 to 12. So it's a huge margin in terms of performance. CUDA is just superior. There is no way around it. Simple as that. Okay, we're gonna hit OK on this. I don't need any of that, but for future reference, what I do need to do is go in here, because again, I will be setting up that plugin with you guys. So we're going to install Rocm and everything that needs to go with it. This is AMD's attempt to basically mimic CUDA. They're never going to get to the performance level unless they truly start to put in the time and reverse engineering CUDA and implementing things the way that Nvidia does to truly get the best out of their graphics cards. Someone's going to argue in the comments, they always do, but this is my experience. This is the way that things go. Like, I don't even like recording an OBS with the AMD GPU, but again, perfect opportunity to show the setup of the Nvidia graphics card. All right, we're going to just yeet that over there, okay? Jey Uso style, not like that other clown Logan Paul. God, I hate him in wrestling. He ruins it for everyone. So, we're here, fresh. See this? It's fresh. And what that means is we've got some stuff to do. And I don't want to touch Kitty. I don't like Kitty. We'll try this instead. This will work. By the way, that totally finished installing. Great. I'm going to do this for you guys. We're going to install some stuff. My bad. Like this. So we need libfuse2. libfuse2 is in preparation for Davinci's Resolve because, believe it or not, it's actually an app image as an installer. How cool is that? So that's the first thing that we needed to do. The second thing is extension. Wow. Really? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a thing. If I just go search, does it like actually search? Gnome Shell Extension Manager. Okay, so it's named wrong. It's actually named incorrectly. So Gnome Shell Extension Manager. And of course I screwed it up. There we go. Yes. So it searched right away. Let's install it. I meant to install it just then, but of course I forgot to do the thing. Hi guys. How you doing, fellow admins of the Pikaos Discord? It's just Extension Manager. It's not Gnome Shell Extension Manager. Unless it's the wrong thing I'm thinking about. Let me look. No, yeah, this is just called Extension Manager. Okay? Please fix that. That's annoying. We got Gnome Shell here. Anything else? Let's try search Gnome Shell. There's a lot of stuff here. I don't know why anything cinnamon related is popping up. What if we search Arc menu? No? Really? Because that's a thing. That's a part of Pika. So I'm surprised. Oh. Arc? There's a lot of stuff here for Arc. Yeah. M-N-E-R. Okay, so Arc theme. There's just Arc. There's a bunch of stuff. At least this way you guys know how to use this properly to be able to search. Which is definitely interesting. Okay, we're going to just kill that, and we're going to search Arc Gnome. I don't know why it's grabbing such things. This. So there's some stuff for Gnome applets, Gnome maps, Gnome settings. Ah, there it is. Gnome Shell Extension menu. Again, incorrect, but now that we have it, what we could do is this. Because this has some dependencies that are needed. That's the reason why I'm doing this. I don't remember the dependencies off the top of my head. And besides that, we're basically going to be using this tool here to do the rest of the job. Again, I wanted to show you the best I could on how to get this stuff done. So now if we go to Arc menu here, just like this, there it is. It just works. Okay. And if we go here, like this, it's my perfect opportunity to remind you, hey, if you're new here and you appreciate what I do for our Linux in its entirety, subscribe, because I want to reach 40,000 subscribers by the end of the year, or better, 50,000, to try to keep moving forward. I've had some unfortunate issues and regarding to my living situation, so I'm trying to like replace that lost income with YouTube. If I can just make $450 a month, even more, that helps so much. So we're going to install user themes, we're going to install extension lists, we're going to install app indicator and notifier, because that will again allow you to see stuff here like the update manager. And this next part is completely you. Okay, do you want a taskbar? Well, it's simple. You grab dash to panel, which is right there. If you want a dock like I do, you grab that. That gives me a dock, a nice clean looking dock. For me, I like a good little bit amount of blur, just like that. See, it makes everything a whole lot cleaner. I like me some open bar, because it allows me to completely transform Gnome without needing any themes at all. Okay, because that's important. You want to make things how you like them, and I know personal preference is a very hard thing to understand for most people, but try it this way. If it makes them happy, let them have it. You know? I'm also the type of guy that likes to know our weather outside. So there we go. And this is new. Displays the weather in yeah, we're gonna try that. So I have my dash to dock. I have my arc menu. I have my just perfection. I have everything I really need. There's not much else. I'm not really that picky, but when I am streaming, I do need audio settings panel. This is very, very important to me to be able to see everything that I have. You click this button, and you'll get to see everything in your list that you went and installed. Let's set up weather o'clock first. Okay, so basically just Halifax, Canada. We live with the rest of the world with Celsius, not Fahrenheit. And it's a warm day today, thankfully. Next, I'm going to set up the audio panel. So we're gonna just get a separate indicator. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I actually like that. That's a lot better. But what if we do it in the main panel, in the bottom, or at the top, like that? And always show the microphone slider. Great. Don't show the microphone indicator when we're... Okay, that seems fine. Remove the main output now. Add a reset. Okay. Profile switcher. Do not auto hide, please. Look at that. Audio profile. I don't know what the hell that does. Allows you to quickly change the audio profile of the current device. Well, what is our current device? Yeah, there's no audio profile for that device, so we're gonna turn that off. Yes, to the slider, per volume sliders. Yeah, I don't like that. That's annoying. There's an auto balance slider, so it allows you to choose between your left and right. It's very useful. Media controls. Moves the media controls to the notification panel instead. Okay, cool. Application mixer. Put the sliders in a submenu. So that will go down to the bottom. There's a block list, filter mode. There's a bunch of stuff that you can do with that, so that's great. Let's set up dash to dock. Again, because having an application audio mixer, super helpful. And allows you to do a lot of really cool stuff and control your audio. And that's what I really do enjoy. Now, there's a button that allows you to show it on all monitors, but I find that ridiculous and honestly just takes up. There's also extend to edge. Basically, it turns it into a taskbar. And here's the cool part. If you really, really, really want to, you could disable that. See that? That's pretty cool. But I like having it there. It looks nice. Oh, I didn't mean to leave it like that. I apologize. There we go. You can also do this. How cool is that? Just realized that was there. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do. Let's go to advanced settings in here and let's adjust this. So we're going to go to custom, we're going to go to browse, and we're going to search Pika. Because there's a specialized icon that I want to use. It's this one. There we go. Perfect. With this, by the way, you can choose your menu layout. You got your traditional. Okay. You got your modern layouts. So if you needed to, you got your pop layout, your Windows 11 layout, and honestly, I like the 11 most of all. And you get to choose where it goes as well. I just gotta remember. Yeah. Disable frequent apps. No, that's fine. I don't mind that. I just want to know where it ends up going. Override menu location. Bottom centered. So if I did this, look at that. I like that. And I know many people aren't going to like that. But again, this is my setup. You have to remember everybody has personal preferences. So yeah. And if we wanted to, we could basically display it on all panels, right? But it doesn't show on the dock. Show this as well. So if you needed this, it's right there. And yeah, you can put this anywhere over there in the center, wherever you want it, and it would just end up working. So, look at that. That's nice, right? I like that. Most people are probably used to that, so that makes life very easy for all of you. And the reason I'm taking more time than I normally do in setting this up is because there's a lot of new people coming over to Linux, and I kind of want to go through every little setting to show them what can be done. Now, normally, I'm a clean padding guy. I don't want as minimal amount of space taking up as possible in the bar. I don't care if the panel shows or not. Look, if you want the panel to go away, there's extensions for that. And I should actually explain how extensions work, I think that would probably be best, because there's a lot of people out there that are confused on what extensions are. So, let's go find an extension. You need to go to Firefox. Do we even have a Firefox? No, we don't. Wow, let's go install Firefox then. I don't want to install Firefox. I don't like Firefox at all, but yeah, let's go do that. So sudo apt install Firefox. And there we go. I use Microsoft Edge, and I know a lot of people are going to have a problem with that too. Look, my personal preference, my life, my desktop, my channel. Try to remember that. It's not me trying to be a meme. Okay, so what's a good one? Forge. Gnome. GitHub. So I've updated this one many times. This is Forge. It's a tiling extension, okay? And this is it right here. So this is your metadata Johnson, okay? What this file does is it allows you to, let's actually go view the file, change your shell version. So extensions depend on the shell version. So when GNOME shell changes, okay, when it changes version numbers, what happens is the extension no longer works. So as a developer, I've done this many, many times in the past. We would go into shell version, we would change it. And if it worked, there was no issues, we'd ship it. That's how that works. I've updated this extension 3 or 4 times. I added the 47. I believe someone else added the 48. I forgot this one existed, honestly. And then there you go. That's the way that worked. Extensions do not break. The problem is GNOME shell changes, and those changes can end up forcing this extension to need to be updated with those changes, or a simple version number change. Now, GNOME does this not in a way to hinder its users or cause problems. It does this as a safety mechanism to make sure that these extensions are not breaking your system. Okay, because again, they do interact with a lot of your GUI, and if something goes wrong, you could lose your GUI, and then you're screwed, and they don't want that to happen. So that's why this was implemented. Now, there is a way to implement on safe mode and to have everything just working and ignoring version numbers, but that is definitely not recommended. GNOME changes once a year, and there's a period between Alpha 0, Alpha 1, to Beta, to RC to get the extensions working, and it doesn't really take a lot to do so, because GNOME doesn't really change too much GUI-wise these days, unless they're implementing something major, and they haven't done that in a while. So going from 45 to 46 to 47 to 48 has literally just been a number change. That's it. Extensions do not break, okay? They go out of date. And that's another thing that Reddit wants to brainwash you into believing. Now you know better. I'm sure someone's going to try to say otherwise in the comment section, and if you see it, tell them off. Feel free. You have my permission. All right. So I usually set this to 40 just to keep it clean. And other than that, this is what I like now. So that's nice. Ooh. Let's try this one. To the right of the clock, Celsius, and then you would have to enter the latitude, longitude. So we're actually just going to disable that one because that's not a very good extension at all to be messing with for anybody that is new. Extension list, open bar, extension lists, that's this thing right here. So we already did that. We already did that. Ooh, this is the big one. This right here is the big guy, okay? so what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit apply, and we're gonna choose pastel themes. See that? And we're gonna go here. We're gonna turn this to mainland. You can keep it floating if you want to. I don't care what you do with this. I'm just showing you what can be done. And then I'm gonna leave everything the way it is, but the bar border, I only want to keep the bottom, and I want to change it to black because it just looks like a really cool shadow. For this, I want to turn the radius completely off. I've fallen in love with the way this looks. Okay. For the pop-up menu and stuff, nothing I can really change in here for this. Yeah, we want to do that. That makes it transparent. It also kind of defeats the whole purpose, but whatever. That's fine. For here, I like to do whatever the top bar does. Okay, and I also like to disable the shadow, because again, it adds some depth, but I don't really like it. And icon size 40. Turn this on. This will also do instant adapting to whatever your background does. And we're going to just crank this up to 100%. All of it. Like this. Right? This one, only going to put this at 3.5. Like that. And we're going to go with a black border. I don't need to turn traffic lights on, but I do going to do this. So this is going to make the windows transparent. You'll see why later, okay? So watch this. What we just did with that. I just got a text. I gotta go look at that in just 1 second. Hey, it's ugly, ain't it? And it's ugly for a reason. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to go grab my Avril. I think this is supposed to change. It does not change. So we're going to have to set the actual background of things. I was hoping that would automatically theme it, but it doesn't, which is a bit sad. Alright, so we're going to go back here, and I am going to change this to just my normal purple, because that is what we like to do. Just my normal purple. I forgot to change the window border to black, and that's it. Okay, so now when we open it back up, that is something a little bit better. Okay, and you might be wondering, why is it still transparent? It's transparent for a reason, because we haven't dealt with this yet. This is blur my shell. Radius, maximum brightness, corner, turn this all the way up to 30 because that matches what it did to the dock. And then for this, we're also going to turn that up. We're going to crank that. Now here comes the cool part. If we turn this on, crank up that, turn that off, turn this on, we have blur on all the windows. Now this is completely up to you what you do, but yeah, this is what I like to do. Okay? This is what is important to me. Now as for this, honestly, I like the fact that it does auto theming, but I'm going to be completely honest. I'd rather it didn't. Okay? I just rather it didn't. There. I don't know what that's going to do, but I don't want it, so again, it resets all of this, which, as you know, is not what I wanted. So I'm going to just change these colors around here. Like that. Highlights. Not what I want. That's what I want right there. Bar border. Black, please. Thank you. And look at that. That looks a lot better. Again, to adjust the alpha, or we can increase the alpha to make it look sharper, but I like everything to look super clean. So that's why I did what I did. Okay. Now, we could choose a much different color. So if I wanted to, that will be a little bit brighter and easier to see. So there we go. That is it for that, except for this. Jesus Christ, I can't. What the hell did it do? What in the world did it do? Now it decides to override everything as yellow. All right, we're gonna just. This is problematic. See. Let's close this. Yeah, you're truly seeing what it's able to do now. And I hope you're impressed with this because, again, you don't need to actually theme anything. And that's what makes this so unique. And what it does is, look, now we're back here. And then again, this is ridiculous. Gradient, vertical, again, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. Shadow color, let's go with purple. Bar highlights. Let's do that. I don't want to bother with the border. I want you to be you. Perfect. Dash to dock is also good. Pop-up menus. Foreground colors, good. Let's go with this. And override color, this. Border color, black. Ew. And highlight color, this. See what I mean by you could do literally anything you want? And there's just so much stuff. Now, it all fits in. So now when I open this up, we're good to go on this front right here. And look at that. So let's go and set up Steam and everything. We already did install it, so it's already right here. There's Lutris. There's Heroic. Okay, we're going to open up Proton Plus here soon. I'll show you what that does. There is a package manager if you need to use that. There's also audio control as well. And there's a software update repository management system. I may as well introduce that to you right now. If we go to the main page and we hit this button, it'll automatically check for updates for you. If there is none, it will tell you. If you want to go look at the updates when they're available, you click here. Great, so I want to get rid of this, unpin. I want to get rid of this, unpin. Let's open up Google. And let's go get me some Edge. I don't think it likes me. Let's try this on Firefox instead. So, Microsoft Edge Dev. Right there. And this allows you to install all the development versions. There's 139. I wonder when 139 came out, because yesterday it was 138. And all your applications, if you download them from the net, can instantly be installed and ready to go from right here. So you never really have to worry about having an interface or going through the terminal to install an application if it's got a .deb. Most applications do, so you shouldn't really have any issues. There we go. So now that that's installed, it will show up right here. Eventually. Oh, it showed up on this side. That's weird. Let's get rid of you. We don't need you. I also don't need you. I don't want you. And you are on needed. Great. So far, we're doing a great job. Now, set up your browser according to the way you want. It doesn't really matter. Discord. I usually just use Desktop. I just go here and I search Desktop. But lately, lately, I want to use Desktop Canary. Like that. And the reason being is it just works a whole lot better and it's instantly Wayland than Desktop does, and it's just way more stable, you know? I can't explain it. I don't want to. I honestly refuse, but there it is. All right, so the next step we're gonna do is system management. So this is your settings. If you're new to Linux, if you just jumped over from Windows 10, you're gonna want to learn this. There's your networking right there, wired. Currently in the BIOS, I have Wi-Fi disabled, okay, because it's new on this motherboard and it's acting up. This is where you deal with your Bluetooth stuff. So anything Bluetooth related will pop up here. This is where you deal with your displays. So if you want to turn on HDR, you turn it on, you adjust the brightness. And again, I have multiple different displays. You can also adjust your refresh rate and everything there. So with this one, I can go up to 4K. Sound is dealt with here, but this is not a very good example of sound. Instead, you're going to want to use this, okay, which allows you to deal with things a lot easier. So it allows you to make port adjustments, line adjustments, whole bunch of other stuff, output devices. So yeah, it really does help, especially when it's maximized. They got cards here and stuff, everything that's built in. So if I wanted to, off, and off. That way those devices are disabled, and the only ones that will actually show once I restart this are the ones you enabled usually. Here, this is where you deal with your performance. So performance, balance, power saver, multitasking. That's what that is. So up in the right hand corner, I don't like that. That bothers me. This is where your appearance is, so you can again go adjust your accent colors and everything like that. I want to show you something really trippy. We go into just perfection, we go over to here, and we turn this on. Look at that. Now that's accent heavy. Yeah, isn't that cool? I don't know what that one does, but this also allows you to adjust your spacing. So the size, the spacing size for control management and overview. So 6 items. I don't know how this actually works. About 10. Yeah, I don't know. It's not doing anything. There's a whole bunch of settings. This is where you could set your backgrounds. Pikaos has a ton of stuff built in, but again, Avril Lavigne for me. Default apps and everything are set in here, so I'm gonna set this to Edge. Calendar's fine, music's fine. Probably choose that. Same for videos. Image viewer. Yeah, that looks good. Notifications, you can handle everything here. There's do not disturb. Do not disturb is also up here. Right there, I think. Where's it right there? I can't ever remember. I think it's actually right here. Yes, cool. You got your search application stuff, so where you want to search, when you want to search. Online accounts, you can attach your Google email, calendar, Nextcloud, Microsoft, all of it's right here, ready and raring to go. And you got your sharing. Yeah, you can do media sharing stuff in your well-being app if you want to set screen time for your kids or whatever. Mouse stuff. It hates when I talk about the well-being app. Keyboard stuff. You got your color management for your monitors, you got your printers, your accessibility, hearing, all that stuff is here. Privacy, security, I don't need to go over that. Regional language, date, time, user, you can go in here. I gotta actually do this. So pictures, we go into logo, I believe. Logo, YouTube perks. Oh, we have got membership on the channel, so if you ever want to help support me that way, you can. There we go, hit select. Now when we do things, that's gonna pop up. So there you go. Well, we went over the settings of Gnome. There's also KDE and other desktop environments that you can go check out if you need to. So there's just so much stuff, isn't there? Now I'm gonna go download some stuff and we're gonna go and install it and deal with it, okay? I forgot the Pikaos after you try to install it from it has this weird issue that I want to kind of try to solve real quick. Where's the terminal? Sudo apt search xdg. I need an xdg portal. There's menus. Okay, we're just gonna cancel that. Portal. Gnome? I'll figure it out. Alright, so we're going to be installing Davinci's Resolve Studio now. So I'm going to click Linux. There's a download only button here. Okay. I did a video the other day on how to set this all up for any distro, and the guy missed the point where the mouse moved to the bottom of the screen. There's a download only button. Alright. It's right there. You can't miss it. Okay. We're going to let this download. Well, look at that. It's finished downloading. So let's go deal with this. So for some reason, Nano's installed, or Nemo. It's a very interesting old app, but again, it's not necessarily required. So I'm going to end up removing it. So sudo apt remove. I better do this big so you guys can see. Nemo. Okay. So we already have Nautilus. We don't need more than one. If you want to use it, go ahead. But I'm also going to take the opportunity to install what I use in terms of terminal, which is, as I like to call it, Pyaxis. I don't know what's actually called. Never bothered to really learn the naming scheme of things. And I'm going to put that right there. And there we go. Now, we click this button, we go to downloads, we extract. Should only take a couple seconds if you're on an NVMe. If you're using this on a hard or an SSD, it's going to take a lot longer. There's a huge difference between an NVMe and an SSD. SSDs are limited to SATA 3, and NVMEs are mostly known for using an M.2 slot that uses PCI Express lanes. That's why they get to go so very fast. And if you hit run, you're going to notice it says you're missing a bunch of stuff, blah, 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 blah. We actually do this. And we zoom all the way in. Okay. And we do /Davinci's Resolve. I'm going to tell you that you can do this, a skip package check. So we're going to paste that in. Okay, then we're going to do this again. And look at that. It is open. Next. 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 Agree. Next. Next. Password. And this is going to install everything that you need to be able to use this. Okay? And of course, it's going to take a little bit of time. Alright. So, we got Davinci's Resolve, we got Steam, we got Lutris, we got pretty much everything needed for to make everything work, which is nice. Enter a password here. Does post install stuff, updates caches, you name it. And then I need to go here, be able to handle everything required to deal with this. So we're actually going to clear this out. I'm going to type cd again to go back to the original prompt. And I'm going to go down and we're going to follow a nice guide. Okay, now we already have it installed, which means we really just need to do this. cd/op/resolve/libs, and then the two N signs, they basically execute a secondary set of commands, which is sudo make dir disabled libraries, and then again the N signs for sudo move, and it moves these specific libraries to make sure that it works on modern systems. Because here's the thing, the OS it was designed for, Rocky Linux, is one of the most outdated things you can imagine. It's called stable. That's one of the most harmful things to Linux, is so-called stable distributions. Reddit will tell you it's the best thing in the world. It means you'll have no issues, that everything just works. They're lying to you. They are lying to you. That's not how Linux works in its entirety. Linux is a constant moving train. And you have two options. Stay on the train or get off the train. Because the train is always moving forward. And developers are always patching and bug fixing and optimizing and renewing. And, you know, this makes your hardware have better security. This makes your parts have better efficiency and makes you have your best performance possible. So running a modern distribution like Pikaos, Arch Linux, CachyOS, and even Nobara are extremely well supported and kind of a must. if you want the best out of your system. If you don't care and you want to literally torture your system with age-old, months-old bugs that never really get patched, you can stick with Ubuntu or Mint, and your system will not thank you for it. Because if it takes 8 seconds for a terminal to open up inside of a VM or Linux Mint, but in a same VM it takes Arch Linux literally a half second, you know it's not going to do your actual hardware any good service whatsoever. Plus, if you're new to Linux, the learning part of things is a must. You need to learn how to take care of your system, because when Windows, they don't teach you how to take care of your system. They just expect you to know. They don't teach you. They try to do certain things and automate certain things for you, but you end up, your system will break, it will slow down, it will have issues. In Linux, you can solve all of those problems. CachyOS has a welcome or a hello, which has app tweaks that allow you to handle certain orphan files and other things and manage your repos and everything. It's like a good application for beginners to learn what needs to be done to manage your system. But usually for Linux, it manages itself. It actually does. So when a kernel updates, it will do a bunch of cleanup. When a package updates, it will do a bunch of cleanup. It does sometimes leave behind orphan files, but that's a rare occurrence. So yeah, there's a reason why Linux does not slow down and it's modern, and it's because you're constantly being looked after. These packages are tested before they're thrown out, you know, to the piranhas. You guys are the piranhas, by the way. So just remember that. A stable Linux is a constantly moving Linux unless you're running servers. And don't be scared to update every day. You can also choose to update every week or every 2 weeks. It's not really going to affect your stability or cause you any issues because, again, those packages are tested. And if you do find bugs and issues, find the appropriate place to report them. And you get to better the community that you've joined and become a part of. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, so Davinci's Resolve is installed and activated, and everything is working according to plan. So now all we have to do is to go install the plugin, which is required for happiness, for you to be able to use your graphics card within Davinci's Resolve. Why am I not recommending Kden Live? I really honestly don't see a reason to ever touch that application. If you are serious, or even if you are a beginner or whatever, use an application that is built for everything. Hollywood uses this for a reason, because it works. It works for the simplest of stuff. It works for the most complicated of stuff. It's just the best solution possible. And there's a lot of people that will bitch and complain and be like, no, Kden Live works just fine. Don't want to spend 30 to an hour rendering out a video that can take me less than a minute. That's inefficient. That's time you could have spent gaming, doing other things, because when your computer is in the middle of rendering, you can't really do much. You know? By the way, we just totally installed the plugin. I'll leave a link in the description below for that, okay? So, what do we do next? Well, we do this. We're going to just place this right here, because after recording comes editing. And I want to open it up for the first time. It's right here. Continue. Start. And I know this is weird for many to see an all-in-one setup ready to go. Basically showing the in and outs of how to install things, handle things, do certain things. I like to be very thorough when I'm making these videos, because I want to make sure everybody knows exactly where they stand, I guess is the term. Yeah, let's just stick with this. And oh, for some annoying reason, look at that, it's not, the plugin's not working. Yeah, that happens sometimes. It probably means I messed up on the installation, which again, sometimes I do. And the install path was /opt resolve IO plugins. It should be plugins. I missed the S. I always miss the S. And that should do it. There we go. It was basically initiating the plugin. That's why it took a little longer than before. We go to deliver. You can see MP4 is now there. And we have AV1, H.264, and H.265. It's done. Great. So that's all set up. So how do we handle Affinity Photo? I do not recommend you ever touch GIMP for anything Photoshop related. It is not by any means an alternative, and it never will be unless it actually puts in the serious work, which I doubt will ever really happen in Incurrence, unfortunately, because, you know, they're kind of hell-bent on the way they do things. Affinity, Ryzen, boo. And that brings me here, and here. And these just got updated today, 5 hours ago, because we had a change of things. So, yeah. Before we run this, we are going to have to go to Wine HQ. Wine HQ. Wine Staging. Debian. Because the current installed wine will not work. Right here. And as you can see, we are going to need to add some architecture. First one, enter. If no complaints, move on to the second one. We're going to do this just so you guys can see. Add the repository. Right there. But again, that's just one of the repositories. I believe that we actually need to just be adding this one. I'm not really sure. But we're going to do it anyway. Like this. Done. And then we're going to grab Debian Trixie because that's the newest one. That is the current Debian testing. I'm going to paste that in there. Going to do its thing. Then we're going to do a sudo apt update. Using the terminal is very easy. It's not scary at all. You just have to have faith in yourself. And honestly, we can grab the development branch or the staging branch or the stable branch. Please stick with the staging. It's a lot easier to handle. We're going to just install that. And once that's finished, we can grab this here and then we can start to process it. So again, Control L, and I'm going to paste this in just like this. Detected distribution. Oh, that is really going to hurt the eyes. What this is doing, it's currently downloading and inflating the version of Wine that needs to be used for Affinity because you can't just use normal Wine. And it's going to be installing Wine Mono. It handles everything for you, okay? That's what this was designed for. I've also modified it so Wine Tricks, believe it or not, ends up being really fast, because before it would take 47 minutes to finish this because I install a lot of stuff, a lot of fallback stuff to make sure everything is handled for you. But now it does it a whole lot quicker. So I'll get back to you in the point where we need to install the application and what to do. By the way, I noticed something. Look at that. That's what I meant to show you. Right there. If you guys are an Apple Music user, there's a program called Cider and Cider repo. If we Google this, you can see that it's got a package repository, and we're going to end up following this because this is a program that I use fairly often. It is paid, by the way. I'm going to just enter that in there. But I need my music, okay? I'm going to be completely honest about that. I need my music. And sometimes I don't always have to want to resort to using my phone or the web. I'd rather have an actual application that can handle this for me. And I know many of you like to understand that. And there we go. It's installing everything needed. Now, I wonder if that actually went and fixed. Nope. Did it fix you? Yeah, there's some issues with Microsoft Edge when I do things this way. It's like some stuff are missing. Okay, cool. There we go. So that's installed. All right, so as you can see, it's still handling things. I'm going to put that right here. And I'm going to let this get back to what it's doing. Oh, by the way, I missed an application that I meant to install an extension. It's called Caffeine. Prevents your monitors and stuff from going to sleep. It'll automatically detect when games are active. So yeah, you still see my mouse? God damn it! It interrupted the capture. I accidentally clicked the button. There we go. So yeah, Caffeine. Click it, and basically your monitor, your system will not go to sleep. Now, I know this is completely random, but there is something I forgot to mention, and it is called the tweaks. This allows you to basically get your buttons back to allow you to minimize and maximize and exit. You can also put to the left and to the right, to the left and to the right. I like having it to the left. This also allows you to change your icons if you want. I have no reason or need to do it at the moment, except for maybe that. And it also allows you to change your theming. I'm going to go with that. And that's about it. Okay, so this is how this works. Press 1, you hit enter. Okay? It's going to do some stuff, and then it's going to ask you to throw in the installer. Now it's expecting the Affinity photo installer, so we're going to drop that in. We're going to hit enter. We're going to hit enter again because it's going to need time to copy the installer. Once that's done, it's going to bring up the installer. You're going to install the stuff that you need. And then it's going to pop back up to this menu, allowing you to install Designer and Affinity Publisher as well if you want. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to install Affinity Designer as well right after this. So once the executable ends, we're back here where we hit 2. And with 2, once again, we drag it in. We get no errors. We hit enter, we install again. Now the really cool part about this is if you need to update your version, like to 2.7 or 2.8, there's another script available on the GitHub, just at the bottom, that allows you to do this without running through the entire setup again. I figured I'd add that to make people's lives easier. And then after that, I got everything installed. We can hit 5 or press 5. And we have Cider done, we have Affinity done, we are finished. This is my usual setup. Now, as you can see, our icons are not showing. It will show after reboot, I promise. Okay? For some reason, it does something really, really weird. I don't know why. I haven't really looked into it. It works. I don't want to mess with it. So what instead I'm going to be doing is putting in my own icons, because that's what I like to do. So the icons are available in share icons. I'm going to paste this in. We're going to delete that. We're going to delete that. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to rename this SVG. And this as well will become .svg. And there we go. And those two should update here very quickly. Done. Great. So, let's set up Steam. So, with Steam, we click it, it does the update, the installation, everything required. And then, of course, we need to log into our Steam. And that was a lot faster than it usually is. They've been working on the speeds, of course, of installation when it comes to this type of stuff. I was actually using NixOS the other day. NixOS has the best networking I have ever seen. It allows me to max out my download speed in Steam versus any other distro currently today, which doesn't even let me get remotely close. I get 90 to 100 megabytes if I'm lucky, with minimum of 50 to 70 megabytes a second. So yay NixOS, but it's not worth changing to just for that. So, how do we set up Steam Gaming? Well, again, I said this is an all-in-one guide, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this, right? I'm going to set that to Proton Experimental. You don't have to. If anything, you should be setting this to Wine 9 if you want to stick with something that's a little more tested, okay? I'm going to go to downloads. I'm going to disable, as I like to call it, the poor people rates, which is in bits. I'm going to disable this. This does not need to be enabled at all. Do not enable it. I'm also going to set this to Boston, as Boston has a lot better speeds than I do. All right. Now, if you have an NTFS drive, you have to go through a lot more setup than this to get that to recognize your already pre-installed games. My suggestion to you is, if you have a lot of space that's equal to the amount of games you already have installed, is that you move those games onto a partition that is XFS, ext4, or ButterFS, because you'll have a lot easier time handling those games that way than you would normally with dealing with all the extras. So right here, as you can see, I have my main drive. I'm going to edit mount options, and I'm going to select the label instead and enter the password. I'm going to hit play, and this will allow me to go into Steam. It will allow me to go into storage and add my drive, just like that. That way we have some games installed and ready to go, because it's not NTFS. Another thing is, if you auto mount NTFS, it can damage the drive over time, which is not good at all, because you could end up losing a lot of data in the process. A friend of mine lost over 5 terabytes of data by doing that. So again, it is not recommended, but I'm sure someone in the comments will know better. They will literally refer to Reddit as a source, and then, well, don't take them seriously. I don't know why people do that. All right, so we handled that. What about other types of stuff? What about GOG? What about Epic Games? What about EA? What about Ubisoft Connect? Lutris can handle most of that, and with the rest of it, we're going to be using Heroic Games. So Heroic Games will of course handle Epic and GOG. Let me log in real quick to those. All right, so now that we have Epic and GOG done, I'm going to show you how to install battle.net and also Ubi Connect, because here's the thing. Lutris can work sometimes, but other times it does not. So I want to kind of show you an alternative so that you have everything you need to work with stuff. Also, this is Wine Manager, okay? We're going to download the latest, so GE Proton latest. And the reason we're doing this is so that we have something to install these two things with, because this thing, so very helpful. It has things that other Proton versions do not, okay? So we're going to click Add Game. I'm going to call this battle.net, so we're going to start there. We're going to select Wine GE, which is the latest. We're going to run the installer first. And it should pop up. It probably needs a minute to deal with some stuff, because there's always stuff happening in the background for when you set up applications. All right, so now that it's popped up, we're going to hit continue. Now, it could get stuck at 45%. Right there. This is a known issue. Especially with Lutris, it does not go beyond 45%. But with Heroic, guess what happens? We get past it and are able to install. This is why I like using Heroic, because honestly, it's just a far better application with fewer issues. And yeah, there you go. Now that that's done, we're going to close it down. We're going to go and we're going to select the installation, which should be in Program Files. It's not, so it's another 32-bit application, unfortunately. Battle.net, we're going to choose Launcher, and we're going to hit Finish. So now you have your Battle.net installed and ready to go. It's going to take a couple seconds to finalize. Next, we're going to just type Uplay, because again, it will always be known as Uplay to me. And it has a picture. Once again, we're going to select GE Proton. We're going to run installer first, and we're going to go to Downloads. We're going to select the Ubisoft Connect, which should take a lot less time to pop up now that the other thing has been done, but who knows. And there it is. We're going to hit OK, accept, install, and it's done. And that's it. We're just going to hit finish. We are going to select the executable, program data, Ubisoft, and there's nothing there. Where are you? I know. You have to be in. It's another frickin' 32-bit application. Why? Why can't you catch up with the rest of the world? Please. I'm going to select the game launcher. We're going to hit finish. And that's it. It's done. And it takes a couple of seconds. And once again, when we hit play, we can instantly start up the application. Not instantly. It's going to take a couple seconds again. Jesus. They really need to work on executing wine applications, because honestly, it's kind of crazy that it takes this long. But there you go. It's going to do its updating. You will do my bidding. Or is it thy bidding? You will do thy bidding. And you log in, you do your thing. And then once again, same with battle.net. So what about EA? Well, fuck EA. God damn it, fuck EA. I hate EA. It can kiss my ass. Buy your games on Steam. Steam will automatically handle EA. Okay? And if you already have them and you really want to do it, you can feel free. Click the install button and suffer, because it is a pain in the butt to get running, to get working, because most of the time it works, some of the time it doesn't, most of the time it doesn't work, and then it decides to work all the time, and then they go and update it and break it, and then it doesn't work any of the time, and then we have to find a way around it to work all of the time. EA sucks. Yeah. Isn't there a slogan? EA, the way it's not meant to be played. We buy studios just to kill them later on because we don't know what we're doing as a game development company or as a publisher. We don't know what you want, but we will never admit it to you and blame you for our games not doing well. EA. Play everything and nothing. There, that should be their new slogan. It's a bit long, a bit winded, but it works. And as you can see in the background, it's trying to start. We hit let's go, because apparently that's the favorite saying of the world these days, even though you're technically not going anywhere because you're sitting in a chair. Yeah. Then it's doing its Vulkan implementation, and it's done. There you go. Today was one of the days it's decided to work. But will it continue to work if we use Proton Experimental, or Proton 9, or Proton 10? I don't know. Let's figure it out. Play. Oh, it's actually doing things. It worked. Yay. So that way you're able to install and do whatever, and there you go. You can play Battlefield 4 now. Alright, so that should pretty much cover the entirety of installation. Well, not installation, because I did the installation. I don't know. I might put it in the beginning of this video, doing it in VMware or something like that. But this covers from the beginning to the end. So from knowing nothing to having gaming all up and running. If you're a video editor, you have OBS. You have Davinci's Resolve, you have your photo editing applications, you have everything that you could ever want and more. There's also this thing called Flatpaks, but I don't know. I might do an independent video on that. Anyway, I know this has been a hella long video. I get that. And it's done this way for a reason, because I can do individual guides on everything, but some people, they want to be guided through everything. And if that's what this is for you, show your appreciation in the comments, the like button, subscribe, do all that stuff. And check the description for ways to donate if you want to help out there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.